I'm going to start this video by reading to you a quote from Andre Gide. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. I think that sets the appropriate premise for what I'm about to talk about, because I heard this recently and it hit me pretty hard because, matter of fact, most people their entire life will never step into the uncomfortable zone. They will never do something different to what they've known their entire life. This is why most people never make any success with making money online, crypto, whatever it might be, because it is outside of the social norm. It is different. It is new. It is unknown. And you don't know what's beyond that door. You don't know what's behind it, but you're curious to open it. And until you open it, you never know what it's going to look like on the other side, but you have to take the first step. You must understand that most people their entire life, metaphorically, walk around this same desert island their entire life, talking to the same people, the same conversations, the same ideas, the same events. It never ever changes. You go to university, you get a career, maybe you settle down and you have kids early, maybe you get a mortgage. And then that life that you have created since an early age will continue to repeat a vicious cycle until you die, right? This is how most people run their entire life. And the reason most people do that is because it's accepted socially. It's normal, right? This is what most people do, so therefore I should do the same. No one ever questions to step into the unknown, to do something different. This is why they call the 1% the 1%, is because to become the 1%, you have to do what 1% people do. If you continue walking your entire life with the same people in the same direction over and over and over again, the same ideas, no new concepts, and you know that there is a location out there that you want to start walking to, you know that there is a mountain that you want to climb, but to start walking in that direction in the first place to somewhere you can't see or even physically touch or even hold is an incredibly scary thing to do. Sometimes you have to ask yourself the question, what's more risky? Staying in the same position that I'm in right now or taking the chance? Because I can assure you, most people will stay comfortable their entire lives. They'll never step out of their comfort zone, and that is why most don't win. That's why most people don't have what they want in their life, because they're not willing to step into the zone of the unknown. I'm going to give you a couple examples here, one with a student and one with myself. And so how you can kind of implement this practice of stepping into the unknown, not just with one big decision, but every single day, every single week, every single month. And when you understand this mental paradigm, this way of thinking, this lens of perspective or a way to view the world, your life will completely change. Because this is how a very small percentage of the world thinks. And after analyzing and working with many successful people and unsuccessful people in my life, one of the biggest things is being able to take risk. Right? Your capacity to have faith in something that you can't see, touch, or feel, right? Before I go into the examples, if you look at something like high ticket sales, for example, there is a guy out there that has achieved what you want, aka me. I'm standing at the top of the mountain. I'm shouting to you right now, going, and say your name's John. If your name's John, it's going to sync up pretty well with this, but I'm shouting out from the top of the mountain, John, 10K a month, it's possible, it's real. You can travel the world, you can have freedom, you can do all the things that you want, and you can slightly just hear me. And then maybe one day you get the courage to pick the direction and start walking. Some people drown, right? But being okay with the fact that you actually took the leap and the chance is what matters, right? I think there's a quote that goes something along the lines of, I'm going to completely butcher this, but something about the bill of regret. And just understanding that the bill of regret is actually much higher than just taking the chance, man. Just taking the chance. When I was much younger, when I was 18, you guys probably already know the story if you've been watching the channel for a while. When I invested $7,500 in a mentor, that was by far the scariest thing that I've ever done in my entire life up until that point. Giving a stranger on the internet a very large sum of money, a wad of cash, and just praying and hoping that it was going to work out. I remember that I was so uncertain, I was so scared that the guy that took the money from me, or that I gave the money to, is the best way to kind of phrase it, had to objection handle me for 30 minutes. I was in such fear. I didn't want to step into the unknown because it was such a foreign concept to me. Everybody thinks the traditional pathway of going to university and college, and there is no problem with that. Not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if you want to get top 1% results, you need to do what others are not willing to do, and that is taking a leap of faith and stepping into the unknown, right? When I'd taken that investment, I was stepping into a world that I was completely unfamiliar with. I had no idea whether or not it was going to work out, but I kept persisting and I kept working. But I picked the direction. That's what matters. I actually put the boots on and started walking towards where I wanted to go. It's the same thing that you need to do. I'm going to give you another example here to tie off this point. One of my students, Ben Wheeler, is a perfect example of this. As he's been growing up, all he's been surrounded by is country town, right? And the main narrative is to either get a trade, which is the vast majority vote, or go to university, right? These are the two pathways. There is no in between. If you do anything different, especially in a place where like Ben is from, it's very frowned on, right? It's strange. It's out of the normal. It's uncomfortable and it's unknown. Not only is it unknown to him at the time, but it's unknown to everyone else around him. And he's doing like $10,000 a month right now, or 11,000, something like that. Even another example, like one of my students, Luke, who, when he first started, all his friends copped it to him, making fun of him. You've been scammed. What are you doing? Just get another job. Go back to working with your dad, right? I remember when he started working with me, which I only found out more recently, that when he started working with me, he gave me almost every single dollar that he had and even didn't have. And he took the step into the unknown. He took the leap of faith. He picked a direction and he began walking. Now, even if you take that leap of faith, even if you pick that direction, even if you start walking, understand that the mountain that you are about to climb, if you choose to do so, is still going to be difficult. Understand that picking the direction and starting to walk is one of the easiest parts. Climbing that mountain is going to require commitment, discipline, focus, and time. That is the hard part. Paying me thousands of dollars, paying somebody online thousands of dollars is not the hardest part. Because once you've done that, that is when the work comes into play. And how this may directly correlate to you is the understanding of you need to step into the unknown, and that can be with make money online, that can be with anything really in life. But you have to start exploring different avenues of being uncomfortable, because that is where most people win, and that is why most people don't venture there, because it is scary, it is uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel good. But that is where you're going to find the true ROI in anything in life: health, fitness, relationships, making money, all that type of good stuff. So that's just my thoughts, right? Step into the unknown and get uncomfortable. Whether or not it's working with a mentor, whether or not it's doing this, doing that, that's my challenge to you. Go out there, step in the unknown, and do something uncomfortable, because that is where the true results lie for yourself. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.